Friday, 21st of June, 2024, the longest day of the year. Good morning. Another episode of Smashi Business Show. I'm Richard Fitzgerald.
And I'm Sandra, ma'am.
Good morning, Sandra.
New host.
New host, new day, everything new. Today we're going to be talking about Emirates Group. They announced their 23 results. Big numbers, as always, with Emirates. Huge story. Love talking about them. Another topic of conversation, often for many different reasons, is influencers. This time there's fines in Abu Dhabi. We'll dig deep into that. And another Abu Dhabi related story, but in the environmental space, we're talking about Masdar buying a stake in a Greek energy company. So how are you feeling? Let me ask you a question, Sandra. What's your favorite topic when you're writing about business? Like, what if you had to read a book? If you had to look at business, do you like the stock markets? Do you like the environment? Do you like entrepreneurial stories?
Entrepreneurial stories.
Entrepreneurial stories. Yeah. What's entrepreneur do you like? Is it a tech entrepreneur or?
Not tech, no.
No.
I like when influencers are like Anas Bakhash, for example.
Okay.
He's a huge entrepreneur. I really like listening to his AB Talks episodes. He's like a very inspirational person.
And his AB Talks is more about the guests as well, but
yeah.
Do you appreciate him as an entrepreneur and a business person?
His story is very inspirational to me.
What has he kind of done that you said, oh, that was really smart?
His questions, like, how are you really doing? I think that's like a huge thing in social media right now. And the Egyptian community turned it into a meme. I love like when something like so inspirational turned into like also a meme route. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So even Egyptian community in Dubai, but maybe you grew up in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
So so he is appealing to all different.
100%.
And so I'll ask you Anis's question this Friday morning, longest day of the year, Sandra. How are you really doing?
Wow, I like that twist. Nice twist, honestly. But at least it's on a Friday, you know? It's on a weekend, longest day of the year. It's on a weekend. Thank God it's not like during the week.
Alhamdulillah, you can get to rest.
Exactly. Cool. We need that rest.
If you had a business idea, if you had to, we've Shark Tank Masterminds coming on the show later. If you had to pitch to them, what would it be?
Oof. That's a hard question, Rich. That's a really hard question. You can't put me on the spot.
I won't put you on the spot.
I need some thoughts.
Do you know what? We're going to jump into the stories.
Okay.
But in 14 and a half minutes time, I'm going to come back to you.
Oh, fine.
It can be open a restaurant, it can be something simple, it can be build a media company, it can be something simple. But I think I have faith in you. I think you're gonna blow us all the way. And maybe get investments from these guys. Never know. Catch them on the way out. Pitch them an idea.
I will. I need some money.
All right, let's jump in. Emirates, what have we got?
Emirates generates $37 billion in revenue, transforming Dubai into a leading Dubai global airport. This is such like a cute and powerful story because Sheikh Mohammed said that establishing an airline company in Dubai was a dream more than 4 decades ago. And now it happened. He said that some people bet against the dream and many tried to distract them from the actual dream.
True.
However, today, Emirates Airlines, being the powerful airline that it is, it employs over 112,000 people. It connects with 277 cities, and it transports more than 50 million passengers annually. That's big numbers.
Huge, isn't it?
Huge.
And the headline figure yesterday from 23 was $37 billion in annual revenues. They started with 2 lease aircrafts in 1985. When I was born, Emirates Airline didn't exist. You know, so like it's not. The air industry was set up by the Wright brothers about 100 years ago. These guys didn't start early. You know, they didn't reinvent anything. They just upped the level of service and they built it in a city here. It's amazing, really. It's an amazing story. I think the numbers as well are super impressive because you know the way some people say, and we'll talk about it with the guys later, but you know the way some people say, hey, you can't make profit in that industry or you can't make margins in that industry, because many countries around the world, airlines are dying. You know, British Airways are in trouble. Lufthansa in Germany is in trouble. ElHadidy went out of business. Our national carrier in Ireland, Aer Lingus, is in trouble. Many parts of the world, airlines are in trouble. And then you've got $37 billion of revenue.
Yeah.
How do they do it?
It's Dubai.
It's Dubai.
Don't question Dubai.
don't doubt Dubai.
They're always on top of their game, to be honest, and they're still dreaming of expanding the business even more, which is very impressive. Like nothing can stop these people.
They really are, and you know they announced recently they're going to, DXB is going to be moving out to World Central, and I heard that the property prices since that announcement in World Central went up a significant percentage. It is fascinating. I love those numbers when I see it's the most. We cover in Love in Dubai a lot, but in Smashi Business we go into the details a bit more. But when I see how many passengers pass through, not only is it an airline generating profit, DXB Airports is a separate entity, and you're talking about close to 100 million passengers. I think it's about 80 or so, and the ones who stay in are about 20 million tourists a year. So there's so many knock-on effects. We obviously are in the media industry, and I was quite vocal recently about having leaders and companies in this industry that lifts everything else up. The Emirates airline lifts everything up. It lifts the tourism, it fills the hotels. It makes people want to have their conferences here, have their events here, makes people want to do many things here, and it carries everything with it. And in advertising and media, we don't have something at the moment. We have global tech companies who are here who extract the cash. And they provide commercial jobs on the ground, but nothing else. And if we had an Emirates in the media sector, like they had in the past, how much else would that lift everything up? We have property developers that lift everything up. Retail sector, now like fashion brands. Why don't we have something like this? So I think people should really be grateful and thankful to what Emirates has done, because the knock-on effect is incredible.
100%.
Naysayers in the region, naysayers of the region will say, that's just an oil thing. When the money runs out, when the oil runs out, there's nothing. It's just a desert. But actually,
that's not true.
That's not true. That's not true. We know that, Sandra.
It's not.
We know that, and you, our listeners, know that.
It's not
but
true.
But that's it. No one else knows that. But you, us too, and our listeners.
Yep. Exclusive.
Exclusive. Next up.
Jumping into our next story, Abu Dhabi mandates
$720.
Fines.
That's the number.
And business closures for unlicensed influencer ads. So the Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development requires licensed establishments and social media influencers to obtain a license for advertising services starting July 1st. Penalties and fines for non-compliance will begin in early July, reaching up to 10,000 dirhams, and may include business closures.
Business closures, TikTok, July 1st. Are you ready, influencers?
Are you ready?
A magazine in UAE, Arabian Business, did a headline yesterday, "Is the influencer bubble about to burst?" So there's always influencer chat. This one, I love regulation. I shouldn't, because it's sometimes stifled business, but I just like it because 10 years ago they were talking about social media, now they're talking about influence. Influence is a real thing. It's potentially hundreds of $millions, although not fully recorded in the region. It's a real thing. And so I like regulation. It also, people will say, hey, I have to pay a fee now as an influencer, but actually it establishes you as a business.
100%.
This is Sandra, Abu Dhabi Department of Economic Development. So often when things come out of Abu Dhabi, we don't know if it's for the Emirate or federal for the country. So we do think this one is specifically, it mentions it's for the Emirate. So it's not necessarily Dubai influencers right now, but there are other regulations in place, and there are easy licenses to get. There's freelance licenses. There's easy ways to go about this. So the advice would be, get your license.
Just
don't
be
get
on the
fined.
safe side. Don't get fined. You don't want to do that to yourself. Do you get influenced by influencers?
Yeah, absolutely.
You do?
I think word of mouth goes way back in marketing, and if you word of mouth, like it's the most. Marketing is about persuasion, and hearing it from the horse's mouth or from an influencer's mouth, hearing it from a person you know and trust, and the way that influencers communicate is in a relatable way. We do feel like we have a connection with them. If Anas Bukash told you to invest in a salon, would you do it?
I would do that, no hesitation.
No hesitation.
No questions asked.
No questions
If Anas said so, let's do it.
Okay, if a billboard on Sheikh Zayed Road asked you to do it, nope.
Not good enough for me.
No, I think I'm with you too. I might ask Anna some questions though.
Oh. And us
Mainly because I don't know salads. But yeah, so this is a development in Abu Dhabi, and there are fines. And yeah, look, like, you know, where there's fines and everything, it sounds like it's stopping stuff, but actually it incentivizes, it brings an industry forward. It puts the influencer conversation at the media into the framework, into the discussion.
Yeah, 100%.
So let's watch out for that. I don't know. Do you think we're going to be hearing about influencers fined?
No, I don't think, no.
No.
No, I think they'd always, like, who would want to get fined, like, such a big number? Just be on the safe side.
So they won't break the rule,
No.
or you don't think, yeah?
I don't think they would.
You know what often happens when they introduce a rule, and if people aren't obeying it, they usually announce who doesn't do it.
Yeah, they give us the numbers.
Yeah, and they kind of like name and shame a little bit, don't they? Like just to give everyone an example. That's another way to persuade people to do so.
Yeah.
Casey were you on the show this morning with Casey?
No, I was.
Who was on the show?
Raneem.
Raneem. So Raneem and Casey did the show this morning on Lovin Dubai, and they talked about this, and they were sort of saying, well, what is a post? Like, if you do a restaurant review that you like food and you're not paid, are you going to get fined? But maybe it's not paid. Maybe you're actually paying for the food. You know, so there is some ambiguity here.
Yeah.
But you know, the sort of advertising guidelines, if you know, not to deceive customers. If you're receiving a gift or if you're paid for a post, you have to declare. So, you know, this is why TV was always clear, because everyone knew that they were called infomercials. The commercials would come up and everyone knew what was editorial and what was commercial. But in social media, it's often murky. So we do need these guidelines.
These people need to like realize how powerful they are to like the community, because they always have to like be transparent, because they've got some power there, especially nowadays, and it keeps getting way more powerful each day.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's it. Watch the fines for. Let's move on to our third story. You know, the hosts that usually do these shows have nice little segues. Can you think of any segue from influencer in Abu Dhabi to environmental in Masdar? Actually, the common connection is Abu Dhabi, right? So let's go with that one.
Yeah. Speaking of Abu Dhabi.
Lovely.
Masdar to acquire Greece's Terna Energy in $3.4 billion deal. Masdar has signed an agreement to acquire Greece's Terna Energy, and the enterprise value of the deal is 3.2 billion euros or $3.43 billion. Masdar aims to reach a renewable power generation capacity of 100 gigawatts by 2030. Masdar will initially acquire 67% of Terna's outstanding shares at the completion of the transaction. They will then launch an all-cash mandatory tender offer to acquire the remaining shares.
Yeah, fascinating. Look, I love this for many reasons.
Why?
Why? So it's a big number. 3 billion is a big number, and you know, I say we as in this region is investing in other countries' energy, right? So the power is here, right? Like Abu Dhabi is investing in Greece in energy. You know, we see lots of investment we've talked on before, and we can maybe chat with the guys as well when they come on. But, you know, UAE is investing in Ras Al Khaimah in Egypt.
Yeah.
There's lots of other developments. Hamad Al Albar has developments in Latvia, in Riga, the capital of Latvia. You know, at Masdar, you know, people have said that chats in boardrooms and on companies about ESG, you know, especially the environmental part of it, social and governance, has just been for PR, but actually you see the diversification in energy, you see the things, and Masdar is a global leader in renewable energy. It started in 2006, so it's nearly 20 years old, with projects in 40 countries across 6 continents. You know what this reminds me of? DP World. DP World isn't just the port in Dubai, it's also got ports in shipping areas all over Africa, all over the world. So Masdar, people think of it, where is that in Abu Dhabi? Do I pass it on the way down there? But actually 40 countries, 6 continents, their primary solar, wind energy, waste energy, you know, geothermal energy, fascinating things, green hydrogen. People smarter than me will tell me that that's a key word in the future of energy. Urban development, developing Masdar city. So practicing as you preach, like having a city there. We have sustainable city in Dubai. They have Masdar city in Abu Dhabi, and then clean tech solutions. You know, a lot of when the chat around AI and the chat about Bitcoin is like, are these farms and data centers actually bad for the environment? You know, so they want to do clean energy. The company unites three major UAE entities: Mubadala, ADNOC, and TAQA as well. So there's a lot going on there. They have the Zayed Sustainability Prize, Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, and of course they make big investments.
And this is the largest energy transaction on the Athens Stock Exchange, according to Turner.
Fascinating. Well done.
Largest.
Cool. Right, before we bring on our esteemed guest, Ahmed Luxer, and potentially, yes, we're having Amr Mansi on as well. I see in the teleprompter. We've got two good guests. I can't wait to chat to them. Before I chat to them and say goodbye to you, what's your business idea?
Oh, I was hoping you'd forget Richard.
Never forget.
What's my business idea? I feel like you can never go wrong with a restaurant, even though we have a lot of them in Dubai, but I feel like each one has its own success story.
Okay, what's the cuisine?
Cuisine, Egyptian. You can never go wrong with an Egyptian cuisine.
What's the name?
A touch of Cairo.
A touch of Cairo. This is nice.
Shout out to Love in Cairo.
I went to an Egyptian restaurant over Eid. Hadouda
Oh,
Masraya.
Hadouda Masraya. I love this restaurant.
Oh my God, it's so good. Dunia, the lady, the founder, came over and chatted to us, and Sandra, it was packed.
Of course it is. It's Hadouda Masraya. This is the best Egyptian restaurant in Dubai.
And Hatem Matar had he's a well-known chef in Dubai, and he had a 3-course special that sold out. But yeah, so you'd be competing with them, but I believe in you.
It's a hard
When are you opening?
competition.
Touch of Cairo in Dubai?
Stay tuned.
1st
Next
of
year,
July?
inshallah. Oh, 1st of July. Maybe. I don't have a lot of time, but sure.
2025. Okay, cool.
I'll pitch it to the Shark Tank guys over there.
Yeah, don't quit the day job though.
I will not. I'll be multitasking.
All right, lovely. Thanks, Sandra.
Thank you, Richard.
We'll go to the break, and then we'll bring on our guests. Welcome back to Smashi Business Show. Today we've got two good guests, Ahmed Luxer, the co-founder of IMP and the visionary behind Shark Tank Egypt, with us in town for something else, and he'll tell us about that. Ahmed has revolutionized Egypt's television landscape. Shark Tank Egypt, the most watched program in the country, big numbers, can't wait to talk about it. Amr Mansi, serial entrepreneur involved in so many different things, from entrepreneurship festivals, events, sporting world, and he's also a former PSA World Tour player who ranked among top 50 players worldwide. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah. And holds the position of CEO and founder of iEvents, the organizing company behind El Gouna International Squash Open, and Oriscom Development PSA Women's World Championship. Mansi is also the CEO and co-founder of the esteemed Gouna Film Festival. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Rich, for having us.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for being with us today. It's Friday. It's weekend in Egypt. It's hot. It's June. What the hell are you doing in Dubai?
No, we love Dubai. We can come any time of the year.
And this particular time, you just popped over. There's something going on, is there?
So, you want to go ahead?
You can.
And so we had like an exchange sharks between Shark Tank Egypt and Dubai. So we had Ahmed Swedi as a guest shark in Shark Tank Dubai yesterday.
Yeah.
So we flew out with him from Egypt to attend the show and see behind the scenes and get introduced to the sharks in Dubai.
And who's the exchange?
We were still
picking.
Picking. We didn't get confirmation yet. We are shooting season 3 in September, so we have time to check, because we still didn't go with the schedule and this stuff.
You have time. I saw on the website you're actually open to applicants now for season 3. So you've had 2 hit seasons in Shark Tank Egypt, and it's a real hit, isn't it?
Yes, it's now #1 show in Egypt, in the sake of viewership and exposure. And everybody sees Shark Tank, all the social standards, because it is inspiring to have this in Egypt, and everybody wants to have their opportunity or the chance of getting a fund in just 1 hour.
I can't let that comment go, because it's just not a natural comment, right? Like, how is Shark Tank something that's a format of business in the country of the biggest Arabic shows, the famous documentaries, dramas, the famous shows? How is Shark Tank now the #1? Like, for entrepreneurship in Egypt wasn't always big. There's so many other series, the movies, the famous actors and actresses that we have in Egypt. How is Shark Tank #1? How did it come about?
I think as for us, it was passion, but we did not expect, to be honest, that huge success. Even when we were pitching for it with the sponsors, they said, okay, we know Shark Tank, but we're not sure if it's going to succeed here in Egypt. But we had really believed in it. But of course, if you ask us, will you imagine that success before the show? Not half of it. We imagined it will be successful, but not to that extent that everybody watch it. In Egypt, it's crazy.
For me, I see that because it's 100% real. Everything it's reality show as it, you understand it.
Nothing fake.
Nothing fake. The entrepreneurs themselves, they come and they tell their story, their challenges, what they have faced, and everything. And this, what gets engagement with the people that they watch. On other note, the sharks themselves. We all know the names, but you never know the face or know who is Ahmed Swedi. I know that it's Swedi, Electric, and Ahmed and this stuff, but I don't know his face.
He's been too busy building his empire.
No, and most of our sharks, they're they're low profile. They're not
all of them.
All of them.
Was that strategic? Were you involved in the programming and the selection of the sharks?
Yes, we
of
did.
Course.
We did it.
How did you pick them, and how did you convince them?
This is the most important question. It took us almost a year and a half trying to convince the sharks. As you know, in Egypt also the exposure and TV, and they're not used to it. And some people would think People will envy us if we're investing a lot of millions of pounds in front of Egyptians.
And begrudge them and be jealous of them and shoot them.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I believe the core of the objective of what we really wanted to do with the show aligned with the deep inside every shark that he wants to create an impact or help other entrepreneurs. As was Ahmed was saying, the sharks is the main element of success, because in Egypt people, they're very emotional, and the sharks, when they find someone an entrepreneur who's really not 100% yet has the vision of it, but they think he needs the money, they will all combine and give him an offer. It's very sentimental.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than the money, also the advice. They speak with the entrepreneur openly and everything as if they are partners already, and they are still didn't go through. And it's not about the investment; it's about giving the advice and trying to make him succeed whenever he's doing.
Also, sorry, adding to this is the sense of humor. Like Egyptians are well known of their sense of humor, so they're always engaging, funny comments, making fun of each other. And
there's banter, there's chemistry between the sharks and the...
Exactly.
So just, it's a business show. So how did it come about, because there's many elements that goes in this. There's an international format. There's a streaming service, watch it. By the way, I'll call out some numbers. So it's 8.3 rating on IMDb. It's got 488K followers on Instagram, 233 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Not to compare apples with apples, but it's only done season 2, and Shark Tank Dubai is in season 2. Shark Tank Dubai doesn't even have these profiles. Like how you've executed this and the growth of it is unbelievable, really. But how? So there's watch it. There's production people. There's money. How do you sponsors? How do you do all this?
We can divide the answer. You can start and then
I can start. We did this program not like any other program in the sake of it's, if in the media you have the script and you produce and you air it.
Yeah.
We dealt with this program as it's a platform. It's not a show. We are, and that's what we said to our sponsors. We are building a platform that we will work all year round on the process of the show to make it successful. We built from day one our social media platforms. We started to tell people what is Shark Tank and what is the purpose of it and this stuff. And when we launched, the process of the candidates or the entrepreneurs that are applying, it's like 6 months. We do on-ground events in road shows to this makes awareness, and this makes engagement, and this makes momentum. So you are all year round is talking about Shark Tank. So I think this is the formula that we have started from the beginning and made this go fast. Our numbers are compared to the US, it's nearly the same.
No way.
Because we air at the same time, here in the US. So
different audience, not competing.
But no, we're not competing yet.
And what happens? So it's third season. So structurally, how does this work? You guys come up with the idea. You're production company producers. It's like a marketplace. You need to buy the license and convince them that you need to pay Egypt prices, right? Because the economies are different. So surely you can't pay the same price as, say, the UK for a franchise, and then you need to get someone to almost pay you or distribute it. So how does that work? Is it like a 10-year deal, or is it? Do you retain the margins and the profits, or how does it work?
I'll tell you first, answering your question, I think our expertise, between Ahmed's expertise in production, because he works in production and used to have an advertising agency, and my expertise in events and on ground comes with building products or brands such as the Squash or Egypt Entrepreneur Awards or Guna Film Festival. Combined, we came up with this, like Ahmed was mentioning, creating like a platform. okay, to make it exciting for sponsors. So it was divided first to paying the license. He's been in the discussion with Sony since 2015. It was his dream.
You actually got Sony involved as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Sony owns the platform.
Sony
only owns the
format
the
itself.
format.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Originally,
who owns it, yeah.
is a Japanese format. And Sony took it like 25 years ago, and they started calling it Dragon Den.
Yeah.
And then 15 years ago, the US version, they need different branding and this stuff, so they did it, they call it Shark Tank. And
I never knew Dragon's Den and Shark Tank were from the same.
It's the same.
It's owned by Sony.
Also, there is Lions Den. Lions Den is in Germany and some European countries.
I'm learning something. That's brilliant.
And
yeah.
the three are under the license of Sony. And it's now, the three of them are in more than 50 countries as we speak.
Dragon's Den is big in UK and Ireland.
Yeah.
That's the one that we knew. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it
Canada
started
as
in
well.
Dragon Den.
The Dragon Den is the first brand name that they started.
What's scarier, dragons or sharks?
Exactly.
The Americans think sharks.
Exactly.
But that's amazing. So you negotiated from 2015.
From 2015.
He negotiated from 2015 till 20. I think he stopped 2019.
I stopped. I did like 3 trials.
Option letters. He pays the money. Take an option letter to talk on behalf of Shark Tank to try to gain
I have to do the
investors.
show in 6 months. I pay the option letter and I have to do it too. So I failed 3 times. Yeah, and the third was like 2018. This was the third time that I tried to do it. And then Amr initiated the EEA, the Egypt Entrepreneurs Awards.
Yeah, I attended. It's excellent events. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
You need to
sent
attend this year.
I sent to him on the story.
Yeah.
It's about time, because 2 years ago I told him let's do it, and he was in the Guna Film Festival busy, and we didn't do it. So I sent him it's about time, and he said done. And we met after 6 months.
Yeah.
Working back.
No, but what I told him, because you were talking about negotiating, I think we didn't have the luxury, because he's been in discussion for 6 years, trying to make it happen. So I told him I don't think we have any credit line to do another negotiation. Let's just sign and pay. So we get they believe that we're actually gonna do it. So we paid
We didn't do the option letter this time.
No, we paid the license fees in full. So for us, it's خلاص,
Make or break.
Make or break, because we paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then the idea of it was and then we tried to get investors with us in the company, because we created a company. It's called Innovative Media Production. With a goal of not only to start with Shark Tank and then do similar other programs or formats. So and then we had Ahmed prepare the pitch deck, and then we tried to actually we did the same like what happened in Shark Tank. We were pitching the company with very minimal investment just to pull it off. You want to continue the story?
No.
Okay, and then so we had to pitch it to investors, which took us almost a year, and then we got like 3 investors. Then we had to go to sponsors, convincing them, like you were just mentioning, with the new format of entrepreneurship program, which is not entertainment and not talent shows or drama, which was very, very, very not an easy process. This was the first time, I think, for a program to create a launch event. So we did it by the Grand Egyptian Museum to make it seem like it's a new thing that's coming to the market. It's a platform.
Yeah.
Did you get resistance? Did people say this won't work? Did people try and stop you?
Of course, there was resistance from the entrepreneurs. We want we had to have like candidates to pitch on the show. So you go to Mansi, come and pitch the show. No, I'm not sure. What if I didn't do well?
Or they're not used to show their numbers.
They don't show their numbers
on TV.
Absolutely.
And still they don't see the program that it will be successful.
Yes.
I'm already successful and I'm working and I'm taking my vision and this stuff. Why should I go to Shark Tank? But in the middle of season 2, there was a change.
To be honest, Ahmed and his team did extremely amazing efforts in terms of convincing the entrepreneurs. I've seen this, and it was not an easy process at all. To start the show, they were suffering to get like 4 or 5 entrepreneurs in each episode. In each episode, right before shooting, this guy and the team, they're like really stressed, because imagine I'm trying to convince you something, you don't see it. And you don't see it happening in Egypt, and you're not convinced.
What's in for me?
Why should I do it?
Why should I do it?
How many applicants are you getting now for season 3?
By season 2, by end of season 2, we had like 6,000 applicants.
No way.
Yeah.
That's a whole job in itself to pick
Yeah. We have a full team, business advisors and content producers working all year on the candidates, and we keep shuffle, and we put like listing the top 100, and it keeps shuffling.
So moving away,
and by season 2, answering, we are now 2,200
already for 3
in the last 6 weeks.
Okay, and there's still at least 2 months to go, 3 months to go before.
Exactly.
Okay, so you'll have big numbers. That's great. But so just a little bit, combining like the Shark Tank success with, do you think the timing is there? Because those numbers are big, those companies who want to apply, but we do see a lot of fundraising now in Egypt. We see the fintech sector. We've seen Egypt exit stories and startups. It's becoming a bit known. Of course, the economy is struggling, but there's companies who are listed on the NASDAQ out of Egypt. Like, these are all new things. The EGX, the stock market, people are looking at this. Your Entrepreneur Awards, there's all sectors there, right? So do you think that you sort of, Shark Tank and entrepreneurship vibes are that sense of feeling that Egypt is going through its startup phase? Has the timing been right?
For me, I see it's perfect timing. And what Shark Tank added is, before Shark Tank, there was startups, but limited number of startups are able to take funds from the VCs and from the VCs. Only limited, who knows the way, who knows how to communicate. But what Shark Tank did is put the spotlight that in Egypt there is a lot of talents and a lot of companies that solve problems and have stories and inspiration and this stuff and ideas, and they are not able to go through the VC track and get funds. All of the people that on Shark Tank, as soon as the episode is aired, they get phone calls with better valuation that they already took on the show.
It's a promotional tool for them.
It's a promotional tool.
More than we used to hear about what happens in the States, like whenever you're in the show, if you have your products on Amazon, it's sold out the second day. But we thought we would reach this after at least 5-6 years. From this, like half of season 2, it's happening with all the entrepreneurs who have products. Like the second day.
I want to be on your show. No, I get it. It's interesting, isn't it? But talking about production as well, because this is an interesting topic in the media world, right? Because in the past, if you went on Oprah Winfrey or if you went on Shark Tank in the US, you would sell out. But media has changed. So, like the streaming world, TikTok. And now, you don't go on the TV show in the US, you don't go on CNN for an interview because you don't get the viewers. But what you do is you go on the biggest podcasts in the world, or the biggest podcasts in Egypt, or the biggest podcasts in UAE. But so how have you been able to get the viewers? Like, is it because, we hear Watch It is really big in Egypt? Because I didn't think that streaming would be big in Egypt, but it is, right?
It is.
and people are watching it on streaming services. So the question really is like a format that's 20, 30 years old still works in a social media world.
Exactly.
In TikTok, I remember when we started our social media agency, started posting after the first episode on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. And I was at the office and I was calling Ahmed. I said, where is TikTok? Where is TikTok? And he was like, I don't know. They should post on TikTok. And then we went on the group. I said, open the TikTok account now. And then I swear to you, once we opened the TikTok, and it was like booming in no time without spending any money. And I think TikTok helped Shark Tank with the exposure big time.
Big time, yeah. That's incredible.
Like, I think the formula of the viewership and this stuff is that we worked on it like 360. We have a good channel that is well known. Watch it. Is doing very well, and
like,
it's
the number one platform.
So this is like Netflix or Shahid, yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the social media. The social media, it's engaging all the people, making you want to see what happened in the episode. So it's like 360.
Okay.
So this is what.
And now, which I agree on your point that TV is not the same, but what's happening with Shark Tank, which is, thank God, is people started like agreeing they're gonna watch the episode. It's aired on Wednesday 9 p.m. They do a Shark Tank night. They gather and order food and watch the show.
I can't believe this.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's the country where Ramadan shows and we have famous people, and now they're watching business. It's mainstream. It's a reality program about
but because
business.
it's entertainment. It's entertaining.
It's produced well. Yeah.
My mother used to. She sits and she got. The drama itself that happens in the show. The people that come from Upper Egypt. We had an entrepreneur that was pregnant and working with scorpions, extract the poison from the scorpion.
No, but not just pregnant, she's due now.
Due.
And you put her on the show.
She will deliver in within a week. We were scared that she will deliver on the set. So when they see this, they got they have to be engaged. So that's why the people on the show who gets this crowd.
It's a skill. You're in the creative industry and you have to know the ingredients that make something entertainment.
Yes, exactly.
And you understand your audience. So segueing a little bit in, Shark Tank Dubai obviously launched a year or so ago and it's in season 2 now. It hasn't hit in the same way. Do you think that's because there's different nationalities here or media is different here? What do you think?
I wanted to add something about the show, but I forgot.
Going back to so the ingredients to make it successful, the pregnant lady and that you were saying that people gathered with popcorn at home to watch it.
I'll remember, but it's okay. I think the authenticity of our show, that it's in Egypt and the sharks are Egyptians and all the entrepreneurs are Egyptians, helps in the authenticity of the show. So people feels it, connect to it.
I want to add something. We the first episode, we worked on the format and like the flying producer is called Arsh, from the UK, and they told us that the episode needs to be the pitch needs to be like 12 minutes only, and we followed the format as it is. The first when we aired the first episode, it didn't work at all.
How did you know? You got feedback. You can
We didn't get feedback.
Nothing. Okay, so we started by working on the content itself, like we said, like creative and the ingredients and this stuff. So the people in Egypt love to know the story, love to be engaged and involved in the process of the. So
it cannot be practical. Yeah. Like this is what I'm asking for. My product is 1, 2, 3. No, they need to be they need to know
the behind the scenes of the pitch. They need to know it and relate. Okay, so by episode 2, we started to stretch the pitch. So sometimes it reached like 20 minutes per pitch. Here, but the people got loved this kind of it's the format, and it went through. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I remember what I was talking about, the ingredients. I think what also making it like easier to watch for the public is it's not only tech. So you find F&B, you find sports related products, you find fitness, you find any kind of industry, designs, furniture.
And some celebrities. There's a famous Egyptian footballer.
Exactly, yeah.
He's Midu. Yeah, he used to play for Spurs. I remember watching him growing up, and he pitched an idea and he got investment.
Yeah,
it's incredible. So it's sports, it's everything. That's
so it's entertaining and interesting.
And yeah, as you said, mainstream.
Mainstream.
Like, yeah, exactly.
So it's not only tech. So it's very like you need to be in really from the business community or business industry to understand.
It's for everyone.
It's for everyone.
Yeah, Hesham, my producer, was telling me something. If you whisper again, I'll get you. Oh yeah, he was telling me about Midu. Yeah, okay, cool. But so the reason I'm asking about like hitting an audience is because like with Love in Dubai, when we launched Love in Cairo, it didn't work for the first 6, 8, 10 months, and I could feel it. And I'm like, I'm not the audience, but I know nothing that's happening in Egypt. I need to know what's happening because I go to Egypt, I go to Cairo, and I see the streets, and it's full of fun, full of life, and I wasn't getting that. And then when you get the right team with the right blend,
of course,
it just works.
Yes.
And the thing is, like, Love in Dubai is for the communities and the expats and immigrants and everyone here, and it's in English. But that formula doesn't work in Egypt. But a different formula worked. So it shows that, like, exactly to your point, that if you can tweak the format or the franchise for your country, for the audience.
And adding to this, you need to really understand the country.
Yeah.
And I mean the culture.
Yeah.
Like this is we are from the community, and we talk with everyone, and so we work hard to make it like.
We before every episode, me and Amr, we say this pitch will go viral.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. That's good. And so we're running out of time, but just so ask about Shark Tank Dubai and its different formats, different country, different audience. But just about the future, what's sort of next with IMP with innovative ideas? Do you have something else brewing or cooking that we can get an exclusive on, maybe?
We have something, yes. I can say it. Yeah. We're working on a new format. It's a Sony format. It's called £1 Million Menu. And it's
sounds good.
Yeah, it's for restaurateurs.
Yeah.
We put like after Shark Tank and what we have saw from the success of inspiring people. Yeah, this is what we really
creating
loved.
an impact.
Yeah, to create an impact, exactly. So we are working on the same sector like in entrepreneurship, but now we mixed with food.
And Egyptians like food.
And Egyptians like food, and we are this is our new
very good
show to be aired inshallah by November.
Soon
Inshallah.
So you're busy end of the year. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure. Look, sir, Amr, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
We love hearing about these stories, and we'll tune in for season 3.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll be back on Monday with a new episode of Smashi Business. Stay tuned.